home of San Diego FC, San Diego Sports, 760 KGB and KGB FM HD2 San Diego, #1 on your car radio preset and on the iHeartRadio app. Never sound the same.
This report is sponsored by Primatine Mist. The Padres went 2-3 over the weekend, scoring 21 runs on Saturday night, but did drop to the Rockies on Sunday. They'll be back tonight from Petco against the Angels for a couple-game series. Kikuchi will be going for the Angels, while Michael King will be going for the Pods. That game will be going at 6:40. And per Shams Charania, Giannis is open to a potential trade from the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sure most teams will be interested in him. During an asthma attack, every second feels like an eternity. Primatine Mist works fast. It's clinically shown to open airways quickly, providing quick relief of mild symptoms of intermittent asthma. Get the #1 FDA-approved over-the-counter asthma inhaler. Primatine Mist, easily breathe again.
Everybody, my name is Ben Fletcher. That is Sammy Long. We will be with you until 2 o'clock today. Thank you for being here. We sure do appreciate it. Busy weekends all around. I know Sammy was watching some fights at a local casino over the weekend. I was up in Long Beach, back in San Diego, out to Coronado, all over the place. All meanwhile, the San Diego Padres were out in Colorado, whooping up on some Rocky ass, at least for 2 out of the 3 games, with one of the more impressive displays of offense and pitching that we've ever seen out of the Padres on a Saturday in Denver. We will get into it all on the show today. The NBA postseason continues on. A really good postseason so far. We'll see how things change for one team, especially in the Bay Area, coming up a little bit later today. And did you see? The GOAT is heading to the broadcast booth. Not Tom Brady. He already did that. Different GOAT. We'll talk about that as well. But Sammy, how was your weekend? You feeling good?
It was good, man. Just went to the fight Saturday night. That was a blast. Never been to a boxing match. Navarrete they stopped the fight because of a bad cut in the 8th, but it was absolute blast. And I saw Sinners yesterday, so locked it. Have you seen that yet? Dude, it's phenomenal. Jamar, one of our listeners, was texting me or hit me up that you got to see it. It completely lives up to everything that everyone said about it. Definitely one of the best movies I've seen in the last few years. Yeah, big upset. One of our listeners called the upset on the text line, actually.
He got the win. And then did you see Jose Aldo's face during 3 minutes?
Yeah. We're going to get into that later, but there is a thing with older fighters that are coming back in boxing and UFC, and it's like, guys, you got to know when to hang it up. Destroyed
as of today. I would want to know what it looks like today, actually, because I think you could see bone at one point. We will cover it all on the show today. It's a Monday. No guests lined up. This is me, Sammy, and the text line, 70470. Start your message with team. You can also follow us on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760, on X at Fletch and Sammy. We got a long ways to go here on a Monday. Hope you be a part of it. Sammy, let's start them off with the big 3. That is the biggest stories in the world of sports. Sammy Long, hit that button.
Ready to go back in the office and knock the socks off your friends? Co-workers? Time for the top stories of the day. From Big 3.
You can always tell when it's a Monday because Sammy's a little extra fired up. We got a big 7 today on the rundown.
We got a lot of stories. There's a lot. I got to pick. We might have to do like a big 6. Let's start with the big news of the day. This is what everyone's talking about. Shams reporting Giannis is open to a potential trade from the Milwaukee Bucks. Where would you like to see him go, Fletch?
Not the Bucks. Not OKC. I don't want this to be a Giannis heading to Portland, right? I want this to be Giannis heading to the Warriors, Giannis heading to the Lakers, Giannis heading to the Knicks. I would even say Giannis heading to Houston. I don't know how they would make that work. They'd probably have to give up a bunch of their younger talent. But Giannis going to a place where he's got a legitimate chance over the next 5 or 6 years to be the biggest, best player in the NBA is what I would like to see.
Yeah, I've heard the narrative people going, you can't trade Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially if you're a small market team because you're not going to land that. But I think you're seeing what's happening what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. They won a title with this team, and Giannis will forever be remembered there in Milwaukee. But you're either going to lose him for nothing, or you're going to lose him, or you're going to lose him and get a bunch of picks back, a bunch of young talent. Look at Shohei Ohtani. The Angels, I'm sure, who the Padres are playing tonight, are kicking themselves for not just trading him. People said you can't trade him, the crosstown rival. Well, guess what? You would have taken the entire Dodgers farm system and might have hurt them in years past, and the Angels lost him for nothing. Certainly, Giannis going somewhere. Selfishly, I would love him to come to LA. That would be exciting. I know OKC would be interesting if they were to lose this series and kind of put a package together. The Knicks, I don't know how feasible that is in the East, but it's he's too good of a player to kind of be wasting away in Milwaukee, and it sucks what happened to Dame with the injury, but don't think that he'll be back there. But yeah, it would be smart for Milwaukee to kind of move off this, bite the bullet, and be relevant. For Paul George, for Shea, it would be bigger. It'd be well because you got to think Giannis is definitely better, 100% better than Paul George at that time. Shea was just a young, fun player that the Clippers clearly didn't see as becoming what he is, and they're kicking themselves now because they have one of the best players in the NBA there in Oklahoma City. This would be, and if you're Milwaukee, knowing that the Lakers fleeced Dallas for Luka, knowing that that's not going to happen for you. You are going to try to get everything that you can back. They would probably get 4 first-round picks, multiple young players, so we'll see. All right, let's head to the Padres. 21 runs on Saturday, but they did lose on Sunday. Would you consider this weekend a success for the Padres?
Time in terms of baseball. Not just the amount of runs the Padres put up, not just the home runs, not just how all the offense worked. Stephen Collen pitched a complete game shutout. Like, when does that happen in 2025 baseball? The answer is hardly ever. So Padres found another starting pitcher on this road trip against the Rockies. Stephen Collen was amazing, and I understand it's against the Rockies, but how is this weekend anything but a success with the way they played on Sunday?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this when I was watching the game yesterday. Text line, love to hear from you guys as well. 70470, start your message with team. 70470, start your message with team. We'll get into this a little bit more next segment as well. But it's tough because you have not only one of the most impressive Padre victories of the year, one of the most impressive victories in the entire MLB on Saturday. I mean, that I don't care. It's against the Rockies. You beat a team by 21 runs, and basically everyone 1 through 9 gets involved. And to your point, Kolek being excellent. That's a real plus for the Padres if you find something there. So it's a success in that regard. It's a bit of a bummer to then come out so flat on Sunday. Part of me is debating it because I'm not going to kill Pivetta. Pivetta's been one of the most consistent starters for the Padres all season. He was due to have a bad start. We should have known coming in. He's had a really rough ERA actually at Coors Field coming into that start. And Marquez, I got to give him credit for the Rockies. He had a 9 ERA and was kind of pitched beautifully in that. But I mean, you know that they were going to respond. You knew that they were going to. I mean, a team gets embarrassed like that. There's no way that they weren't going to come back fighting. But, you know, we did say on Friday, it is a little bit of a bummer they weren't able to sweep them. But with the Padres' upcoming schedule, I'm sure that they'll be able to get after it a little bit. Yeah, I think to what you said, I think the Kolek thing was the most impressive, even over the 21 runs. The fact that you held in Coors Field the Rockies to no runs, to literally nothing on the mound, able to save the pen. That's why it makes it a little disappointing on Sunday, considering that you saved the entire pen. And I feel like I know they had the opportunity in the 8th inning. It was they had bases loaded and they grounded it out into a double play, but it was a little disappointing not to get the sweep. So I was just about to get to that. All right, so being reported, the Eagles are hosting the Cowboys to open up the season. The NFL schedule release will be Wednesday at 5 o'clock, so very excited for all that. Do you like that matchup to start the year, or you know that the Cowboys will win this game, right? This is the most Cowboys thing to do. They will win week 1, and everyone will get excited. Everyone will be talking about how they're. I mean, that it would be the most Dallas thing to do. Would be to go into Philadelphia and win week 1. Yeah, we'll do a 4-star. We'll kind of stay in the NFL. Full schedule, 5:00 on Wednesday. We're gonna get leaks today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then we can do a whole kind of breakdown on Thursday. George Pickens had some interesting words to say for his old team going off on ownership in his previous team in Pittsburgh. Do you think Dallas is regretting their decision, or do you think that this makes it even better? I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, dude, George Pickens. I don't know. It's hard because we're seeing this kind of factor in the NFL. Trey Hendrickson today came out for the Bengals that he hasn't even been in contact with them since the draft. And this whole he was kind of the standoff. He's the odd man out. They paid T. Higgins. They paid Jamar Chase. They draft Shamar Stewart. It's funny how paying in the NFL, you're seeing George Pickens. They didn't want to pay him, so they traded him to Dallas. Trey Hendrickson, now we're looking at Cincinnati, might not have a pass rush. I mean, the defense was the worst in the league last year, and now you're not paying the guy who had the most sacks in the NFL. We're seeing this kind of narrative around players when they dip out, and I guess owners are just getting kind of tighter with it, and they're not going to pay. It's nice to see Pittsburgh finally kind of wipe the slate clean. I mean, 12 picks in next year's draft. You think that they could really go get a quarterback? I don't really know what the outlook is for this year in terms of, I mean, you make the DK Metcalf. You think that's kind of a win now move, but then you get rid of Pickens. You don't draft the quarterback, but it feels like I don't know how bad this team is going to be to really get a realistic top tier quarterback next season.
$760. You are listening on the iHeartRadio app.
San Diego Sports.
Price picks in 30 seconds. Oh, fuck. I forgot to do the draft lottery. Fuck. That's what I was going to do.
We might have some audio issues with the stream here.
What?
They're saying Jamar said can't hear Fletch at all. Tyler said the sound's a little off.
That's San Diego traffic. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you.
You have us in audition and
with their lowest price
Yeah.
guarantee. If you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item. Current price at qualifying retailer.
About 4 seconds.
Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.
On YouTube?
Lowest price guarantee.
Download the Prize Picks app today. You're going to want to use promo code Fletch when you do. Prize Picks is my favorite daily fantasy sports app that I've ever played, and I've tried them all. But on Prize Picks, they keep the promotions rolling, which keeps you rolling. Taco Tuesdays, Flex Fridays, extra ways for you to win money on a weekly basis on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use promo code Fletch to get a $50 bonus when you sign up and play your first $5 entry. An entry is just 2 to 6 players. You pick their stack projections. You go more than or less than. The more players you pick, the higher your payouts can be. You can win up to 2,000 times your cash on Prize Picks, which is the best daily fantasy sports app on the continent. So
it's like we're getting hit on the stream.
Millions of other players
But it sounds like
playing Prize Picks. Start taking
can't hear Fletch,
millions of dollars,
which doesn't make sense because
winnings. Download
he's in
Prize
program
Picks
and then
today.
audition.
Use promo code Fletch and run your game.
And you're running it
All
through here,
season long
right?
Yeah.
On Prize Picks.
Are you the breadwinner in your house?
Like, I'm running it on
Insurance
StreamYard
covers
right
the
here.
Cost of living in case you're not there to provide. Are you a stay-at-home parent? Then consider life insurance to protect your
Where
loved
would
ones.
Fletch normally be?
Most people don't know.
I see you.
Yeah, it's weird. It does that when we go to break, but like it's
Okay.
fine.
Rates are at historic
I don't know
lows.
why.
There's actually
My headphones are a little staticky. It does sound like odd on here. Like you can't hear Fletch.
term
Can you hear me?
Everyone will get excited. Everyone will be talking about how
Echoing.
You're off mic, it sounds like.
Right now, a healthy 45-year-old
Am I talking right up on it, though?
I know, no, but it sounds like you're off mic.
Yeah.
Just $55 a month for 20 years. That's right. Level rate for 20
I mean, there's a bunch of people on X.
Call now for your free rate quote.
You hear what it sounds the same on X.
3070. That's 800-200-3070. Stop paying too much for life insurance.
So it's a success in that
Call
regard.
now.
Yeah.
800-200-3070.
It's not
800-200-3070. Sample
It's not
rate,
horrible.
Non-smoker rate class. Exam required.
But why don't you hear Fletch?
Yeah, that's what's more concerning.
If you think you have a water leak, contact Cable
So
Pipe
at
and
San
Leak
Diego
Detection.
Sports
So you can hear him on there.
State-of-the-art equipment.
Not gonna happen for you.
The first
This
time.
is hard.
CPL
But
Detection
when did
is
it
the
start?
leader
When
in
did it fail?
locating water leaks and endocrine mutations.
Hey, we stopped hearing you in the middle. Did you hit something?
For over 40 years.
We heard you at the beginning.
Or too small. Cable
I did
Pipe
not.
and Leak Detection does it all. Call Cable Pipe and Leak Detection.
It also wouldn't be on this. All the sound comes out of there.
CPLdetection.com.
Heading to lunch. You do a lot for others. That's why you value your lunch break.
Doesn't make any sense.
Kaiser Permanente
Um,
wishes you a healthy
how long
and
does it take to
restorative
close
lunch
this
break.
and start it
Eat
up
well
again?
and get some fresh
Sure.
air with Kaiser.
No, I just logged out.
Right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the
Okay,
podcasts.
I'm back.
I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free radio app today.
What's
At 6. It's SDFC Midnight Live with the latest news from our home team. Then at 7, it's SDFC.
God, that's
Live
ugly.
from
I don't want to see that.
Snap State. When our home team hosts the Colorado Rapids, the SDFC kickoff show starts Wednesday night at 7 with a 7:30 sports.
San Diego Sports 760. We got 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every single weekday with the bonus bucks giveaway. Just listen for the keyword every hour from 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance coming up at 1 o'clock today for you to find one of those keywords. Take it over to sportssd.com. You got a shot to win. Couple of media stories going on right now that are both kind of fun. In the NFL, Berman staying with ESPN through 2029. I love the fastest 2 minutes in sports, whatever he's been doing the last couple
Boom
years.
is one of the greats of all time.
Whoop. He's staying at ESPN through 2029, which is great. That's good news for all of us. The other one, which is a little funny, Michael Jordan has been signed to NBC as they take over the broadcasting rights for the NBA next year, right? The 2025-2026 season. Michael Jordan is going to be involved somehow with NBC. I don't know if he's calling games, if he's a color analyst, or if they're trying to build their own Shaq, Chuck, and Ernie and Kenny.
Because they're going to ESPN, so NBC's trying to do something. They haven't really rumored who's. I think Ion Eagle's a part of it. I think he's like the main play-by-play guy. But
I like Ion a lot. He's very, very good.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though because it is weird how Jordan, like, he's been so kind of. Well, not out of it. He's been an owner, but he's like, you don't hear his analysis on stuff. You don't hear what he thinks. I mean, he's the greatest player of all time. You can argue that, but I think he's the greatest player of all time. And you don't hear like what Chuck or Shaq or I said. Like it'll be interesting to see how good he is at it because he was very insightful in The Last Dance. Like he's got a lot to say.
He's got a lot to say, and he's not shy about it either. I am curious to see how it works. Now, you're talking about Michael Jordan, who's got a real attitude on him, man. He is feisty, and I don't know if it can't possibly be money, right? Michael Jordan's like one of the richest people in the world.
No, it's not money.
It cannot possibly be he's running out of money, so he has to go back and do TV work. But I'm curious to see what it looks like and what facet they have him in. I would assume some sort of studio show.
Yeah, it's kind of vague, but they say he's like an insider, like guess. I assume.
Or is this the thing that Tom Brady has over him? So now he's going to go sit next to guys like Kevin Harlan and try to do basketball games color analysis.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't think Jordan's going to do an 82-game slate. For some reason, I don't think that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of tough. All right, we do have a bunch of NFL news. It started with that Chris Berman is going to be staying at ESPN through 2029. But also, Derek Carr retires. as of yesterday. So the news kind of came down that it looked like it was either going to be another surgery. And remember, Derek Carr last season, his season ended because of that wrist surgery after he sort of dove over 2 different players and landed on his wrist. So he was out for the rest of last season. And then going into this offseason, he's been working to try to get himself back to health. And I guess in March, he started throwing again. And at that point, shoulder pain. And so the doctors, everyone said, hey, we could do a surgery that might fix this. You might never get back to full strength, though. And you would probably miss all of next year. And he said, I'm going to retire.
Well, and the Saints are doing now it came out, they're going to do like a rotation between Rattler, Tyler Shucks, and Haener. Haener, the quarterback out of Fresno State, probably sounding like Shucks is going to get them. I mean, he's the high upside rookie. We've seen Jake Haener play. He doesn't really look like he can be an NFL quarterback. Rattler's had a few moments, but there's a big ego there and everything. So it looks like Tyler Shucks probably going to be the guy. Yeah.
Or is this why we never heard about Aaron Rodgers signing with Pittsburgh?
Well, that's an interesting point.
Because he knew, or they knew, that the Saints would still be an option. And now is there a bidding war for Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, because now Rodgers has leverage. That's what didn't make sense to me. I mean, Pittsburgh fans are going to go, you got Will Howard. I don't know how good Will Howard is. I watched him at Ohio State. He was a good player there. He played at Kansas State before then, but you're also talking about a guy who was thrown at Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka. I mean, had some of the most. Travion Henderson was in the backfield, Quinshon Judkins, Josh Simmons. I mean, you had 5 NFL draft picks, or would be with Jeremiah Smith playing. I don't really know that Will Howard's a big time answer. Aaron Rodgers now got both, but if you're Aaron Rodgers, why would you go to the Saints? The Saints are nowhere near contending. At least Pittsburgh has a shot if they got it right. I mean, the defense is going to be one of the best in football. If you have with DK Metcalf, that could be a contending team.
I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the Saints, but I'm saying this is why he's waited to sign with the Steelers, because of what you said. He finally has leverage for the first time. There's another team out there that could want him, that could drive up the price for an Aaron Rodgers. So instead of the Steelers being like, why would we pay you $45+ million to come in here and be a gap quarterback for 1 year when no one else wants your services? Well, now potentially there's someone else who wants his services. So if Aaron Rodgers can play the Saints off the Steelers, vice versa, then perhaps the Steelers would go up to $45 million and say, all right, Aaron, we need you for a year, and we can't afford you to go across the street to New Orleans.
Yeah. Does he even want to play?
Make sense?
No, it makes sense. I just don't. It doesn't. Like, does he even want to play? I don't really get what Pittsburgh's doing. Either they like Will Howard, or I mean, you. This whole reporting came out that till the day before, up to 24 hours before, they were debating taking Shedeur Sanders at the 21st pick or not. They went with Harmon. So then you figured that in the 3rd round, you were going to take Shedeur, take somebody, Dylan Gabriel, Jalen Milroe, one of these guys to be quarterback. They obviously didn't like any of them. So either it feels like Aaron Rodgers would have signed by now. I don't know why, unless they're just going to pay him a ton of money. Aaron Rodgers is set for life, and he either wants to keep playing football or he doesn't. So, I mean.
All right. Speaking of Dylan Gabriel, we'll get to him in just a second. A ton of texts came in already today. 703. Did Sammy find his phone?
I did.
Where was it?
Thank you. Huh?
Where was it?
In my house. It was in. I have this phone soap thing because I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. That Fletch knows this.
Phone soap thing.
It's called. No, it's called. It's literally called phone soap. You put it in this little container for 10 minutes, and it does UV light, and it disinfects your phone. And I forgot it in there.
Look at you. Interesting.
Trying to stay clean, you know.
Don't forget the NBA lottery tonight when my
Yes.
Wizards will lose Cooper Flagg to the Spurs and stay irrelevant. Yeah, that was going to be on the big 3. We ran out a little bit of time, but who would be the most fun for Cooper Flagg to go to? We'll hit that a little bit later in the show. Go through some of the possibilities. The NBA draft is always one of the more entertaining ones because you don't know who has the number 1 pick until, boom, all of a sudden the lottery happens.
Well, and what's fascinating about this one with the Giannis news coming back, again, we're going to get into this a little bit later, but it's good. Whoever wins this thing is going to determine who can make a massive trade package, because whoever gets the number 1 pick, it's going to be Cooper Flagg. I mean, you're talking about a legit thinking superstar player that you got in your roster and could really factor into trade chips.
858, too many excuses, gentlemen, up in the Bay Area. You have to sweep a team as bad as the Rockies. Don't like the 2 or 3 times already when they're just going through the motions. Also, shame on Pavetta. Get your act together, sir. Now, the first time they played the Rockies, they did sweep them. They didn't give up a single run. That was at Petco Park. This time, the Padres scored 21 runs in a game, and Stephen Kolek was this Stephen Kolek's first start of the season? Maybe second? I think it was his first.
It's second. Text line, help us out. I believe it's his second.
But Stephen Kolek goes 9 scoreless against the Rockies. That's why I cannot possibly say that this weekend was anything less than a success because of what happened Saturday night.
But I like the.
I get it too, man. But that's a 6-3 road trip. Where the final
Yeah,
game
I'm
of the road
actually
trip.
a little bit like I said 7-2. I know you said 6-3. I understand.
I think I said 5-4.
I'm with this text. I'm everything except for the Pivetta. I get it. Get your act together. I'm gonna give Pivetta some leeway because again, he really has been the most consistent Padre starter so far this season. So he had one bad start. I'm not gonna destroy him for that in a pretty hitter friendly ballpark as well. But I am with you. It's a little, especially the kind of going through the motions. It's a little frustrating. The Padres had fire on Saturday night, and then Friday they get the huge lead, kind of have a little bit of a comeback there from the Rockies. Were able to do it. You could have ended this road trip with a bang. I mean, you had Sports Center talking about NFL. Adam Schefter was tweeting, "Is football back with the score?"
21-0
to come out so lackadaisical on Sunday, knowing that the Rockies, I don't care how bad they are, you get embarrassed by 21 runs, you're going to have some pride.
Can we put a little perspective on this? This road trip has been going on since May 2nd. They started out in Pittsburgh. Remember back-to-back games with rain delays. They had another rain delay in New York. Like, this has been a long freaking road trip. So on getaway day, it's not that it's understandable because you lost to the Rockies, but it's a little understandable. I mean, I get it.
It's not sky is
I'm
falling, but
giving you the free pass on that one.
It's a disappointing end to a weekend where the Padres were like, damn, like, wow. Like, that's kind of putting the Padres on the map in terms of the national picture. You beat a team by 21 runs.
But it's the Rockies.
Yeah,
it's the Rockies.
Okay, well then where's that the other way? Where's that for Sunday? It's the Rockies. They should have swept them. We said on Friday it was a failure if they didn't sweep them. Got to be consistent here.
All right, coming up next on the Fletch Zone here on San Diego Sports 760, Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders both have film out because rookie mini camps are going on in the NFL. What have we learned about those two quarterbacks, both drafted to the Cleveland Browns? We'll tell you coming up next. San Diego Sports 760 on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Dairy Queen in the NBA tonight. Celtics-Knicks Game 4 will be at the Garden. The Celtics blasted the Knicks on Saturday. That game will be going at 4:30. Boston is currently favored by 6.5 in Madison Square Garden with the point total set at 209.5. In the night game, Minnesota in Golden State. There will still be no Steph Curry for this one. That game will go on at 7 o'clock with Minnesota favored by 5.5 and the point total set at 200.5. Get big summer flavor in every bite with the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu featuring new mixing bowl mashup, fan-voted s'mores, and more. For a limited time right now at DQ, happy tastes good at participating locations.
San Diego Sports 760. It's the Fletch Zone. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over then. Plenty to still get to today. We got film of Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, both players picked by the Cleveland Browns in their rookie minicamp. And the Cleveland Browns are so funny, man. On social media, one day they were just taking video of Dillon Gabriel getting his helmet fitted, his pads on and everything. And they were like, Dillon Gabriel, QB1, blah, 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 blah. And the fans are like, what the hell are you talking about? Dude's like 5'6", and you drafted Shedeur Sanders. He's not just automatically QB1. So Browns fans are in a tumbler of emotion. And since that TikTok went viral, they have now started including Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in every social media post. They're in a mess right now in the Cleveland front office.
He's going to be QB1 because what they don't want to hear is Deion Sanders going, why would you take Dillon Gabriel, which is a fair point, above Shedeur Sanders if you're going to jump Shedeur Sanders to him. I don't get the Dillon Gabriel pick. At Oregon, he's short. He can't run. He doesn't have that big of an arm. He was surrounded by a massive offensive line, and then you saw him play an elite defense in Ohio State, and they couldn't even score. I mean, it was awful in that Rose Bowl game. So I don't really get it, but I'm sure that Dillon Gabriel will get the first crack above Shedeur Sanders.
He probably will. The funniest thing I saw all weekend about it was when Dillon Gabriel's walking in and Kevin Stefanski's there to greet him, they handshake and hug, kind of do the bro hug sort of thing. And then the top comment on that post was, God help us, he's shorter than Stefanski. It's a serious problem when it comes to the NFL. We've seen guys overcome it. Russ is not a very tall quarterback. He has potential Hall of Fame numbers. Kyler Murray's a tiny little guy, and he's been able to do just fine for himself. But I guess there's a picture of Dillon Gabriel and Tua Tagovailoa standing next to each other, and Dillon Gabriel is smaller than Tua. And so people are panicking a little bit about Dillon Gabriel's height, especially when you drafted Shedeur Sanders right behind him, who, like Mel Kiper, had as the number one quarterback in this draft, who went 155 this year. We'll see what the Browns can do. Padres with an impressive couple of days out in Denver. I understand that people are a little upset, including Crankpot Sammy over here, about how the series finished in Denver. But you're coming off a 9-game road trip in the final game, and you're a little bit flat. I think that you can give them a pass there. Or is there anything worrying for you, Sammy, about the Padres moving forward because of what you saw yesterday?
It's not worrying. It's not like, oh, this team, there's massive problems. I think I would feel a little bit more like you, Fletch, if they had won the series against New York. If they had beat the Yankees 2-1, you're talking about Mother's Day. It's a little bit, you embarrass a team, you come out flat, so be it. It's a little disappointing that they sweep the Pirates. That's great. You lose you almost lost 3 games to the Yankees. They had the great comeback on.
You almost won 2 games too.
You almost won, but you didn't. And then you come in the weekend and you blast them. You're going, this is what you should do. Finish the road trip 7-2. And I think the other little part of this, and I know it's so early, but the way that the NL West is, we really are looking at standings. We're looking at how close it is because you have the Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Padres, and Giants all kind of fighting for a slice of the pie. Well, the Giants or the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers played this weekend, and they split 2-2. This was a golden opportunity to kind of gain a game while they're all kind of beating up on each other. And you're looking at the Padres playing the Rockies, going that's a quick W on Sunday. And the Dodgers won on Sunday, but they split that series, hard-fought series. It feels like the June schedule for the Padres, as we're looking out, is brutal. You got the Giants, you got the Dodgers, you got the Diamondbacks. I mean, that is going to be a murderer's row. You play the Dodgers twice. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun covering it, kind of seeing them all play each other. But this is a real opportunity with the upcoming schedule, with the Angels and the Mariners, who are a pretty good team, but then the Braves and a lot of teams coming up that you feel like you could take advantage of. These little games, we could be looking back at the end of the year going, when you blow that one on Sunday in Coors Field, We'll see.
So far, Padres are 5-6 or 5 of 6 against the Rockies this year. The Rockies have managed 1 win so far this year, and I think you take that. Now, to your point, Sammy, Angels next, then the Mariners, then the Blue Jays, then the Braves, then the Marlins, then the Pirates. That's a pretty soft schedule heading into your
outside
first
of the
couple
Mariners
of series, because you got the Giants then at the beginning of June, and then you got the Dodgers right after that. So you got a pretty soft schedule here coming up before you face the brass of the NL West.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Pirates. We already saw them sweep them. The Marlins are not a very good ball club. The Angels they played the Padres tough at times, but there shouldn't be any problems there, and you're back at home. It's just the only thing we can maybe take away. It's a little alarming. Wandy Peralta really struggled on this road trip, and we saw the bullpen be a little bit worse. But then again, that's natural. You're on the road. You don't have the great Petco crowd behind you, where it's you kind of come in the game and you shut it down. This is a real opportunity for the Padres to start moving up, because the Dodgers and them all started playing each other, because when you get to June, this record's probably not going to keep up. I mean, when you're playing the elite competition of the Giants and the Dodgers twice and stuff, I mean, you're looking at the Dodgers series. I believe they play them 6 times or 7 times in the span of 2 weeks. You're probably looking realistically to go 4-3 there. You're looking to just edge out these series. This is a real golden opportunity for the Padres in the schedule to take advantage of it. And I mean, I believe they will. I'm not overreacting because of the loss. It's just, it is to some of our texters' points, it's a little frustrating that it's not like they lost a tough game. They look like they were kind of still celebrating the night before beating them so bad. And the Rockies look like they took the game seriously.
I probably would be too. If I scored 21 runs in a game, I think that's an all-night celebration. I don't know what there is to do in Denver this time of year, but it's time to turn it all down. Manny Machado playing some good baseball, extends his hitting streak to 11 games, hit an RBI single yesterday. So that's good news. Something Sammy and I talked about off air, Wandy Peralta on a little bit of shaky ground right now with the Pods. Remember, he had a little bit of a blow up out in New York, and he had a little bit of a blow up yesterday as well. That is now at least 2 runs in the past 3 appearances for Wandy Peralta, allowing 2 runs over his first 14 appearances and then 2 runs in each of his last 3. A little nerve-wracking. Back of the bullpen, Jason Adam had a little bit of an up and down road trip. Wandy Peralta had mostly down road trip, but that's the bullpen that was the best in baseball heading into this road trip, and then a little bit more shaky ground. That's cause for concern. Dylan Cease's arm, cause for concern, although he's on track to be able to start tomorrow. We'll see. Yu Darvish was on track to start the season, not on the IL. Where's he been? So little things, but as the Padres season continues, they are back in San Diego today after a long 9-game road trip, and they got the Angels. Is Mike Trout playing yet? He was on the IL. I don't know if he's back yet. Let me take a look.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Anyway, even if he's not there, this should be a domination. I mean, and real quick,
even if he is there,
even if he is there, real quick, Fletch, I don't know how you feel about this, but it's like rivalry weekend in the MLB. They're trying to do this thing to create a little buzz in early May where teams are playing each other.
So surely the Padres must be playing the Dodgers.
They're playing the Mariners. Now, as someone who lived in Seattle for 3 years and has a couple friends who are diehard Mariner fans, I have never heard them once talk about the Padres. Like, I get the Vetter Cup thing. This is not a rival. The only rivalry going on this weekend that's interesting is the Mets and the Yankees, because you have the whole Soto returning to the Bronx. That's going to be fun. They're going to boo the hell out of him. I'm sure it'll be a great series. Why the hell the Dodgers not playing the Padres? The Diamondbacks should be playing the Giants. I mean, we should have some interleague play going on here.
At the very least, the Dodgers playing the Giants. Like, at the very least, make it the old rival.
The Dodgers are playing the Angels. That's not a rivalry outside of I mean, when has that ever been a rivalry? The Angels have been irrelevant for 20 years. And they had Ohtani, outside of Ohtani going to the Dodgers. I don't understand how that's a rivalry. That's not, I don't get what they're doing with this. I don't understand the whole trying to play up the Vetter Cup. Like, it should be the Dodgers this weekend. That would be an exciting rivalry week. What's been a more exciting rivalry, the last 5 years than Padres Dodgers?
Well, you ready to feel like kind of a jerk?
What?
Just a little bit of a jerk. So the Vetter Cup, which begins this weekend and then finishes up August 25th through the 27th, for the first year, it's like officially recognized. It's been called the Vetter Cup for years when the Padres play against the Mariners because of Eddie Vedder and his kind of home in Seattle, his home in San Diego, and the travel between the two of them. But the Vetter Cup this year is officially recognized by Major League Baseball. And as part of the annual series, they're going to support the epidermolysis, some disease. Excuse me. Sorry. a charity co-founded by Eddie and Jill Vetter. So all the money, all the proceeds from these two series, one in Seattle, one here in San Diego, is going to go to support charity. So, Sammy Long,
That's fantastic.
how do you feel now?
Again, I'm all for donating to charity. I don't understand why the Padres and Mariners are playing on rivalry week.
Eddie Vedder designed the trophy. There's
Okay.
a trophy. Must
So
be a
if Vince
rivalry.
Neal decides to designs a trophy, we should just call that a
Look,
rivalry
it
too?
works in college football. Why else would a San Diego State and a Fresno State be considered rivals if there wasn't a battle for an old oil can? You know? Sometimes a trophy just makes things happen. So maybe from henceforth, Padres and the Mariners
Okay,
will.
in a rivalry week, look at college football. Michigan and Ohio State, they hate each other. They want to kill each other. USC, UCLA, they hate each other. I don't want to see I want to see the kind of the hate that we see between the Padres and Dodgers, which made that series last year so exciting to watch to the casual viewer. I don't get this.
I would like more hate as well.
I'll be going. I'm
going.
going Friday night. It should be Padres Dodgers.
It should be Padres Dodgers. You're absolutely right. All right, it is San Diego Sports 760. You're listening to the Fletch Zone. Coming up next, we got long shots. Last week had a couple winners.
We were
Feeling
close.
pretty good
We were
about
close
that.
over the weekend. Jason Tatum sold
had
us.
to screw the pooch, but we'll see if we can get back on track today. Sammy's long shots coming up next on San Diego Sports 760 and the free iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760 AM radio keeps vital voices accessible. Congress can secure its future, but we need your help. Text AM to 52886 right now to support keeping AM radio in cars. Tell your member of Congress to pass legislation now and keep AM radio in cars. Standard message and data rates do apply. Now, I'm taking a little bit of a risk here because maybe Sammy hasn't seen this, but I'm sure some of you out there have. On Instagram and TikTok, as of the last couple of weeks, it's become very popular to take like Theo Vaughn, a comedian, and put him as a baby and let him keep talking like he does on his normal podcast. And it's very funny, very adorable. Theo Vaughn as a baby is hilarious because Theo Vaughn has a goatee, and babies with goatees are funny. So I've seen this over the last couple of weeks, and I decided, oh, you know what? I'm going to learn how to do this so I can surprise some people at work with some AI babies talking into microphones that are based off of other people in this building. I've now spent countless hours learning how to do this and spent like more money than I'm comfortable to say on AI software that I'm sure has gunked up my work computer to the point where it's probably not going to be able to get fixed anytime soon. All to make little pictures like this one. Sammy, can you see that? Might be a little far. That's a little AI baby Fletch. Isn't he cute?
You look the same.
It's me.
We got Rich in there?
I do have Rich. Hang on, let me find him. He's right here too.
This is you
Here,
you have to show the camera.
I know. I'm going to send
no
them
one
all
on
to you.
radio can hear what you're saying.
I know, but they're gonna. I'm getting to it because something will be posted today on my social media that includes a bunch of people in this office as babies, and it is hilarious. So you are going to see it a little bit later today. Just keep an eye on at Fletch Sports. But here, let me send them all to you, Sammy, and then we'll show them all to the camera so people can see it. But look at how freaking cute all these babies are. Baby Travis Dale.
Real quick.
Baby Travis Dale.
How much free time? You said you were busy this weekend.
Dude, this was all during my show this morning.
So did they not let you talk or something today?
No,
What's
I
going
was
on?
doing everything at once. It's kind of, and then the 2 hours between that show and this show, I was working on it. Over the weekend, I was working on it. It was nonstop.
I thought you had to go to like some birthday party in.
Was that a
in
birthday
LA.
party Friday night, a birthday party Saturday night, Coronado all day yesterday? You find time.
Look at you, Mr. Popular.
Got to get stuff done, man. Oh, this is a weekend. I'm sunburned. You want to see my shoulders?
Not really. We got to work on some tries. We got to work on hitting the gym a little bit.
Well, maybe
so
I could afford some days off if long shots would win every once in a while. Sammy Long last week had a couple wins, which was very, very nice for long shots. Hashtag Faith in Sammy. We'll see what this week's got. Are you ready for it?
I'm very. I have a parlay that I'm very excited about right now.
Smash it.
Let's see. Underdogs? Nah, that's old. Those with a less than good chance of winning? Too wordy. Wait, got it. It's time for Sammy's Long Shots.
All right, if you don't know, Long Shots, Sammy puts together a daily fantasy sports lineup you can use on most of the platforms. We like to use Prize Picks. If you want to use Prize Picks, use promo code FLETCH, FLETCH. Get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 entry. This could be your first $5 entry. Sammy, let her rip.
All right, we were very close over the weekend. For those who didn't know, on Friday we had Donovan Mitchell over. We had someone else over that hit, and then we lost. Jason Tatum sold us. Jason Tatum, I thought was going to be aggressive in the Garden, but so that's where we're going to start tonight. So we got the Knicks and
Benedict Mathurin was the other guy.
Yes, Ben Mathurin. What are you eating over there?
Cheez-Its. Don't judge me.
I thought we were on a diet.
I'm really hungry.
Apple.
It's been a rough Monday, man.
Okay. All right, so Ben Mathurin hit, Jason Tatum sold us, but today we got a special one. So Jalen Brunson, 27.5 points more than Jalen Brunson, we believe, and he struggled a little bit last game. Basically, everyone on the Knicks struggled. I expected them to lose that game. That's why I put the Tatum over. Boston had to win that game. You couldn't fall down 3-0. This is. I'm really excited for this game tonight because this is probably going to determine the series. If Boston wins this, flips it back to home court advantage. Probably going to be tough for the Knicks, considering that they've led by 20 points in all three games of the series. The Knicks are still 2-1 in those games. If the Knicks can win tonight, they make this 3-1, keep that home court advantage. They could lose in Game 5, win it back at the Garden in Game 6. I think this is going to be a really close game tonight, not like the last one. Jalen Brunson going to have to step up and not just kind of come through in the fourth quarter. 27.5 points, more than for Jalen Brunson. On the other side, Jaylen Brown, 22.5 points. We're going less than. Some people are going to go, why are you going less than one of the best players in the game? He is one of the best defenders in this game. He is going to have to shut down defensively. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. even though I do think Jalen Brunson will come through. Jaylen Brown had a big game in the last one. I think Jason Tatum actually is more of a focal point. He's hearing all the media narratives, hearing about potential. If they get bounced, is there a potential trade? Is Giannis coming to Boston? Is he get shipped out of town? Joe Mazzulla will not be the head coach if they lose the series. Jaylen Brown less than on 22.5 points. I think Jason Tatum is more the focal point tonight and will be shooting more. So less than on 22.5 for Jaylen Brown. Now, on to the night game. Jonathan Kuminga, more than 17.5 points. He had an excellent game in their loss on Saturday night. This is why I think Kuminga is going to have more. The Warriors, if they lose this series, they want Kuminga to score as much as possible because they're probably going to ship him out of town. I'm serious. They want that trade value going up. People were pointing to Kuminga going, oh, well, he's got all this talent on the bench, but if he's got all this talent, why isn't he playing? Why am I a trade for a guy who can't even crack the lineup? Well, you're seeing the talent on the floor. It doesn't work with Butler and Curry. Curry's not there. Him and Butler had all the scoring on Saturday night. No one else helped out. It was Butler and him. I think Butler's been playing a lot of minutes. Kuminga's going to have to be the guy tonight. I think he takes a lot of shots, and the Warriors are going to be fine with that. Now, on the other side, Julius Randle, less than 20.5 points. I think this is a number that's baiting us a little bit. Julius Randle's had an amazing series against the Lakers, really good series against Golden State, had his first career playoff triple-double, 24, 10, and 12. They're baiting us with this number. They're thinking that he's going to get this. I think, again, Anthony Edwards is a little bit more of a focal point tonight. Kuminga's now stable in the lineup. I think he's going to be defending Randle for a lot of the night. I think less than on him. And I have one MLB pick, but you can veto two, Fletch. Okay? Paul Skeens playing the Mets. Kind of fun matchup. Pittsburgh against the Mets. Paul Skeens got touched up in his last outing. He's actually had a couple rough outings this year. 6 pitcher strikeouts. I'm going more than. I think he's going to get it done. He's a big-time player. Going to get it against that lineup against Lindor and Soto and Alonso and all them. I think Skeens stays in the game. He's really their only shot to win this game. Skeens going to stay in there for a while and get more than 6 pitcher strikeouts. Fletch, what are we vetoing?
I don't love the Skeens one.
Okay.
Because it feels too random.
Okay. All right, we'll take Skeens out.
I like Kuminga a lot.
Yeah, Kuminga is a must stay.
I like the Jaylen Brown pick a lot because I think Tatum is probably going to do the scoring tonight. I don't know if I like Brunson.
Jay Brun?
Here's the reason why. Because I like it too much. Because I'm rooting too hard for it. Because I think, and I feel like that's going with your heart a little bit more than it is going with your head.
Okay.
Like, we both really like watching Jalen Brunson.
I love watching
I think
Jalen
that's a fair
Brunson.
thing to say. But I think Prize Picks also knows that. They know he's one of the more rootable guys. So everyone's going to put him down for more.
All right, so we're going to take him out. So this is our final lineup. Jaylen Brown, less than 22.5 points. Jonathan Kuminga, more than 17.5. Julius Randle, less than 20.5 points. Take it to the bank. This is a new week. Had a little bit of a comeback there at the end of the week. We're starting to get our mojo back. We were on a bad losing streak, but guess what? We don't quit in gamblers. We're stealing the ship into clearer waters. Guess what? We see the port.
We're stealing this ship with a P into clearer waters. Is that what you said?
Steering. I meant to say steering.
Or we're stealing.
See, we were lost at sea for a little while, and it was getting bumpy, and we didn't know if the crew was going to make it. But now we're seeing port. Now we're seeing where we can get some.
No scurvy up in here.
No scurvy up in here.
We eat live.
We're seeing it. It's on the horizon. But guess what? We got to take it to shore, and that's what's going to happen tonight. You don't like that?
No, I kind of love it. I'm trying to think of more piratey things to say.
We're going
We're not going to see Davy Jones, bro. No bootstrap Bill Turner up in this.
Some people call me Jack Sparrow.
That is a manatee. That's not a hot lady. That's a manatee.
They've been at sea for a long time.
Oh yeah, and
they don't know. They don't know. They don't know what they're seeing.
You know, sometimes a pile of elephant excrement looks like a big chocolate pie. All right, be careful. It does not taste the same.
Oh no, some people are on their lunch breaks right now.
And it's San Diego Sports 760. You're welcome. Lunch break coming up in about 6 minutes. We're going to give you 3 stories for when you're off your lunch break. Go back into the office. You're going to impress all your little coworkers. That's called the Big 3. That is coming up in just a little bit. Hour 2 next. San Diego Sports 760.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. The Padres back in action tonight from Petco against the Angels. Kikuchi will be going for the Angels, while Michael King will be going for the Padres. The Padres are currently favored by -210. This will be the first of a 3-game series. And in the NBA tonight, the Knicks and the Celtics will be going at 4:30 in the early game. This is game 4 with the Knicks needing a win to go up 3-1. Boston is currently favored by 6.5 with the point total set at 209.5. Get big summer flavor in every bite with the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu featuring new mixing bowls, mashup fan voted s'mores, and more. For a limited time right now at Dairy Queen, happy tastes good at participating locations.
Check the clock.
What time is it?
It's high noon. Padres take 2 of 3 in Colorado.
High fly ball to deep left field. Beck going back at the wall, and it is gone. Fernando, the 3-run home run, and the Padres take a 19-0 lead.
And cost Bud Black his job.
Step into my office. Why? Because you're fired.
Last time a San Diego team scored 21 points in a game.
Right back to Tomlinson up the middle. 20, 15, 10, Evans for the corner touchdown.
Now it's back to Petco for a series with the Angels. And SGA wins a battle of NBA MVP candidates.
29-18, they outscored the Nuggets in the fourth to win game 4, 92-87.
Let the fun begin in the Fletch Zone.
Dang, CJ, that one kind of smacked a little harder than I thought it would, dude. Come on, bro. It's San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over then. Their Aztecs basketball scored more than 21 points in a game. We wouldn't have to go all the way back.
Team.
All right, SDFC, we're going to need you to score 21 points in a game.
That would be fantastic.
They did get a win over St. Louis over the weekend, so maybe Tom Penn just needs to jump on our show every Friday, and SDFC will never lose again. Fun weekend for San Diego sports, especially when you got a baseball team dropping 21 on the Colorado Rockies. Padres got the Angels coming up tonight for a 3-game series as they stay home for a little bit. A couple of texts and tweets to respond to here before we get Big 3 hour number 2 going. 619. Gents, your NFL quarterback discussion and mention that Rodgers is an option for teams is similar to the absurdity of the same conversation that James Harden will help an NBA team win a championship. Enough evidence is available that Aaron Rodgers' elite play level as a quarterback is over any team idiotic enough to pay him that much money, deserves to lose, and to be crushed for it. Love the show, from Brian.
Shout out to you, Brian. Great text. 100% agree. James Harden has not been a part of winning basketball, just like Aaron Rodgers has one time been a part of winning football.
That is crazy that Aaron Rodgers only has one Super Bowl.
One Super Bowl. I mean,
for the amount of talent that he's had throughout his career.
You're talking about a guy who won it. If you built a quarterback and said, name the top 5 most talented quarterbacks of all time, he'd have a case to be at the top. I mean, there's very few quarterbacks who've ever thrown a prettier football than Aaron Rodgers. But you're right, Brian. I mean, I don't know what it does. I think it just invites chaos into the locker room in terms of, I don't know what the Steelers are going with in terms of quarterback, unless they assured Mike Tomlin that he's going to have a job next year. And hey, you got 12 picks.
Go ahead and tank.
Arch, baby. Maybe. It is what this is. Is it Arch Manning? Is that what they're trying to do?
The one thing nobody can take away from Aaron Rodgers is the fact that anybody who's been in a locker room with him loves him. He's fantastic in a locker room.
I don't know about that.
That's what I've heard, dude.
Yeah, his friends that he gets contracts, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, they love him because they keep their career alive.
Somebody who's talked negative about him that was in a locker room with him.
Because they would get canned.
How? Why?
Aaron Rodgers was the king of when he had rookie.
I'm talking about guys later on, like after, guys who are in media now who look back on their career. Have you ever heard somebody in the locker room with Aaron Rodgers say anything bad about him as a leader, as a person, as a brother? No. Guess
who does a radio hit on Pat McAfee's show every week? Do you think that they want their name? Aaron Rodgers will say whatever. Aaron Rodgers makes claims about late night talk show hosts that he knows nothing about. Aaron Rodgers is trying desperately to regain what he had, and he's irrelevant.
619 texts in. It's May. Stop looking at the standings, Sammy. No,
it's always time to look at the standings.
I really don't. 619. I appreciate the text. Thank you for listening. And I agree. Sammy's going a little overboard looking at the standings like this. However, I'm sick of the days where you say, it's early. And then by the time you get to the All-Star break, it's like the Padres are out of the postseason discussion. No, take games seriously now, too.
Well, last year, if you look back at a few games here and there, the end of the year, could they have stolen it from the NL West? Everyone thought it was a runaway for the Dodgers. Then all of a sudden the Padres made it so close.
They wouldn't have been like 500 through the first 100 games. I think they were. They were 50-50 at one point last year.
6-1, I hear you. I get it. It's early. It's not. I'm not sitting here saying that the Padres loss on Sunday is going to come back to bite them, but it is frustrating.
You did say that actually earlier today.
I said it could. I said the fact that the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers are playing
word for word.
When people go, oh, it doesn't matter. It's like I agree with our texter earlier who said it's annoying when they're lackluster. It's one thing. It's one thing to lose.
Exact
words.
It's
one thing to lose. It's another to look like you kind of were phoning it in.
For sure. All right, let's get to the big three of hour number 2, where we take you through the top stories of the world of sports. We got a lottery tonight, and it's not the fun one that you pay $5 for a ticket for. It's the NBA lottery. Let's get into it. Big three time.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Yeah, it's the big three. We do this every hour. By the way, if you want to watch the show on X at Fletch and Sammy on X, or on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760, we'd love to see you hit that subscribe button and share it with a friend. How about that? Sammy, where are we starting?
Let's start with that NBA draft lottery. So tonight, obviously the presumptive number 1 pick will be Cooper Flagg. What team would be most exciting for Cooper Flagg to go to?
So who is at the top here? Utah Jazz have 14% chance. The Washington Wizards have 14% chance. Charlotte Hornets, 14%. And New Orleans Pelicans, 12.5%. It's a whole lot of nothing at the top of the draft, Sammy. But in terms of fun to see Cooper Flagg go to, I mean, it almost makes too much sense for the white dude to go to Utah, doesn't it?
No, he doesn't need to go to Utah. Utah's boring.
Where do you want him to go?
I agree with the texter earlier who said that they're a diehard Washington Wizards fan. It's too big of a market for it to be this bad historically in basketball.
76ers have a 10% chance.
That would be a team
fun.
Interesting, because if the Sixers landed Cooper Flagg, what do? Do you trade Joel Embiid knowing that you could get a ton for him? Do you try to get? I mean,
Brooklyn Nets have a 9% chance. That would be fun.
Now, the one that would be insane that I hope doesn't happen as a Laker fan is the Spurs. I hope to God that does not happen.
Dude, Wemby and Flagg on the same team for the next 10 years.
And I mean, Fox. For
6% chance,
for all my Laker fans out there tonight, we're rooting for the Eastern Conference to get it. Washington, Brooklyn, any team like that. What we don't want to have happen is the Spurs win it, where then they can either flip it, they can either take Flagg, or they can flip it for Giannis if they want a veteran presence, or someone in the West to get this. Hopefully it goes to the Eastern Conference. I would like to see Washington. That franchise has suffered for too long. It's a big market. It's a very marketable market. When they had John Wall and were a decent team, that was a big storyline. I mean, Washington hasn't gone past the third round of the playoffs, made it to the third round in 46 years.
Do the John Wall. The funniest one would be if the Dallas Mavericks, who have like a 1% chance of getting their name called tonight for the lottery.
Nico Harrison would trade it. He would trade the pick.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Gets the number 1 overall pick and says, nah, Cooper Flagg, Cooper Schmag, don't need him.
Yeah, that's I'm excited for it tonight though, because I mean we're like last year's NBA draft lottery was kind of a buzzkill because there's not a number 1 prospect at the top that's so exciting. This year, Cooper Flagg, with all reports, again, there's been NBA draft buzz, but
we watched him a lot this season in college. He could really benefit from one more year of college.
Why?
He's not complete. Like, he's still kind of clumsy. It's almost like he's still growing into his body. Like, he must have had a crazy growth spurt from...
They definitely will get him in the weight room. He needs to get stronger.
He's not built yet. Like, he's like a Lego that is still missing a couple pieces, if that makes sense. He's just still too clumsy for the NBA game.
But if you're Cooper Flagg, why are you going back?
No, you shouldn't. He should absolutely go to the NBA. I'm saying if there was someone who could really benefit from one more year of college basketball, Cooper Flagg would really benefit.
Yeah.
His wallet wouldn't.
The second contract, exactly. I mean, what happens if he goes back to Duke and he hurts his knee?
What happens if next year he gets totally exposed?
Right. I mean, it's just, well, who cares? It's his first rookie year. They're going to chalk it up to that. He's got that contract. He needs to come out. This is exciting tonight. I hope for our Wizards fan here that they get it. So Let's actually head interesting a boxing story. The legendary Manny Pacquiao at 46 years old is coming out of retirement at age 46 to fight Mario Barrios for the welterweight.
I thought he was in like politics now.
He ran for president until he retired, and he's come back. And this is interesting to me because we saw Jose Aldo over the weekend, legendary UFC fighter.
That was painful, man.
Got whooped up on.
He did some whooping too. I think
He did
there
some
was
whooping too, but
167 significant strikes between the two of them in a 3-round fight. That's an insanely high number.
Aldo retired and then came back for the UFC for a 3-fight plan and then retired again. I don't really know what the UFC was doing there in terms of it's like one thing to have a second run at the title, but this bothers me because I love Manny Pacquiao, and his last fight against Ugas 4 years ago. I know the Pacquiao team's going to say it was a late sub for Errol Spence Jr. He didn't have it anymore. I mean, he still got his power. That's about it. But the quick hands is not the same. It sucks seeing these guys keep trying to fight and keep going. And we've seen so many guys come back. George Foreman's the oldest champion ever at 47 years old. He actually won the title over Michael Moore. But
who is Pacquiao's opponent going to be?
Mario Barrios.
As long as it's not a Paul brother, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I know. But this dude can crack. He fought Tank. I mean, this guy's not like, this is not he's fighting a title fight. Listen, if he does it, it's one of the great stories. It's going to be fascinating. I'll be watching. But it's a little bit of a bummer when we see these great fighters that just cannot let it go.
So let's put it in perspective for people who maybe like myself are not super tuned into the world of boxing like you, Sammy. Manny Pacquiao comes back and Manny Pacquiao wins. Is that like on par or close to Tiger coming back to win the Masters?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question for the text line.
Now, Tiger wasn't really out that long when he won the Masters in 2019, but he was recovering from some injuries and then makes his way back and then wins the Masters. It was one of the most insane things in sports history, period.
Here's my thought process on that. Tiger, it's so hard to fathom that because of the field of the Masters. You're talking about all the greatest golfers in the world, and he still got it, and he makes the run, and I remember watching it. It was just special. Everyone was tuning into that. This, in terms of Tiger was probably better at that point in his golf career than Manny Pacquiao is at 46 years old compared to when he was in his prime. And here's the thing with golf. You're not worried about getting flattened. I mean, you're not.
That's a good point.
This is what
no one's punching you in the face.
7-6-0 is Mario Barrios. It's a killer, scary fight for Manny. It's like what I don't want to have happen is Manny Pacquiao get his lights turned out, which is very possible in this fight. And the last image we have of Manny Pacquiao is him laying on the canvas, a guy who fought De La Hoya, who fought Hatton, who fought Mayweather. He fought everyone. It's hard when you see these guys that can't let it go. Yeah. So I
think that's a great analysis. And like you talk about Augusta has teeth, right? But it's not punching you in the face.
Right. Like we don't have to worry about Tiger having health concerns.
Right.
Because he lost the Masters.
That's a great point. Yeah, I would like to see Manny Pacquiao come back. Look, I remember watching Pacquiao fights. The dude's one of the greatest ever.
One of the greatest ever. Quickly,
is he your favorite ever?
One of my favorites to watch. The way his fast hands, his double quick little jab. I mean, it was, and he fought everyone. He was a true fighter that fought everyone. Timothy Bradley 3 times. He did not shy away from anyone. He's like a 6-time division world champion. Just exciting. Real quickly, NFL story. Trey Hendrickson has not had contact with the Bengals since the NFL draft. It was long reported in the offseason they were going to have to pay Chase, pay Higgins, and then Trey Hendrickson, the league's leading sack rusher. What are the Bengals doing?
I would like to start a petition to revoke and fire everybody in the Bengals front office and ownership group. You are wasting Joe Burrow's career.
We're getting to a point where
we would not be having the conversations we have about Patrick Mahomes if you surrounded Joe Burrow with a little bit of help. And I'm not just talking another wide receiver. He's had plenty of those. I'm talking offensive line and defense. Can we get my man some help? Joe Burrow deserves it.
This is what bad organizations do.
Or can we trade Joe Burrow, please?
They think helping him, to that point, Fletch, they think helping him is we're going to get him all the receivers. Well, guess what?
He has those. He's fine.
He's got them.
He also doesn't even need them.
The problem
Give
now,
him serviceable receivers. You don't have to pay Jamar Chase $19,000 million trillion.
They're like, you have all these great receivers. Guess what? He's going to be dropping back 65 times a game because the defense can't stop a nosebleed. I mean, they were the worst defense in the league last year, and now you're about to not have the best pass rusher in the NFL. Your big solve for that is getting Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Could be a really good pass rusher. Guess what? In his entire college career at A&M, he had 4.5 sacks.
Oh, who's led the NFL in sacks the last couple of years?
Trey Anderson.
Oh, you mean the guy who's on your team already?
Dude, the Bengals are so poorly run, and I think we could see something here in a year or two. If
Why do I even care about the Bengals?
Well, because you have a generational quarterback in Joe Burrow, and you have two of the most talented receivers in the league, and they're not going to win anything. They might be a wild card team. They might, because this defense is going to be dreadful. And at some point, when does Joe Burrow start getting? I'm not wasting my whole career with this horrible front office. The only reason they paid Chase is because he basically hinted that if they didn't, there was going to be a possible issue.
I'm going to say this so it's stomachable and it's not coming from Sammy, but take a note from the Chiefs. Like, they understood, yes, we have the best wide receiver in football. His name's Tyreek Hill, and that's great. But we got a lot of trust in Patrick Mahomes. So why don't we build up a defense and put guys at receiver? Because Mahomes will make it work with guys. As long as they understand the playbook, as long as they can kind of get open, he'll make it work with guys. You don't need the Tyreek Hill or the Jamar Chase necessarily. Of course, they help. They do. They won Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl. Tyreek Hill was a huge part of that.
The Chiefs don't go back to back if they don't make that deal.
Of course they don't. They needed defense. They needed it to be Chris Jones and others. And so, Bengals, stop outthinking the room. You have the quarterback. He'll make it work with other receivers. Find yourself a defense. Find yourself an offensive line. God, I hate that I just used the Chiefs as such a positive example. All right, taking a break
some
here
real growth from you
on San Diego Sports 760. You are listening to the Fletch Zone. Coming up next, we got a text about what's happening with the Angels who are in town tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this.
Great text.
Because I got some ideas. San Diego Sports 760 on the free iHeartRadio app. Download the Prize Picks app today, and when you do, you're going to want to use promo code Fletch, because if you like $50 free, use promo code Fletch when you download Prize Picks. Then you just got to make a $5 lineup. Once you have a $5 lineup in, that $50 becomes promo funds, and you are free to use them at your will. For example, tonight, Jaylen Brown, less than 22.5 points. Jonathan Kuminga, more than 17.5 points. And Julius Randle, less than 20.5 points on Prize Picks. That is for basketball postseason. But whatever your sport is, baseball, regular season going on right now, popping off every day here in San Diego. International tennis, it does not matter. If you like the sport, it is on Prize Picks and ready for you. You can even get going on some football season-long entries as of today. Download the free Prize Picks app, use promo code Fletch, get the $50 in bonus, and start playing alongside tens of millions of your best friends who also play Prize Picks. Join in on the billions of dollars already awarded in winnings on Prize Picks. Around 4,800 of that has been delivered into my bank account. So speaking from a place of trust, download Prize Picks today. If I can do it, you can too. Use promo code Fletch and run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, right here on San Diego Sports 760. It's going to be SDFC Midweek Live here from the head coach, Mikey Vadas, as well as interviews with players and coaches. Find out the latest club and MLS information hosted by Darren Smith, SDFC Midweek Live every Wednesday, 6 o'clock, right here on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Nice win for the boys over the weekend out in St. Louis. They won 2-1. Anders Dreyer scored another goal. Dude just continues his run as a absolute fan favorite. And as of right now, you look at the Western Conference and the MLS, they got 6 wins. So does the top seed, Minnesota, 6 wins. San Diego just behind in points, which is how they kind of grade things out in the MLS. Minnesota has 22, Portland 21, San Diego FC 20, the Seattle Sounders with 19. So as we kind of move forward here with SDFC season, we'll keep that locked. Again, Wednesday night this week, they actually have a game here in Snapdragon Stadium. Pretty cool for a Wednesday night game during the week. Starting to get a little college basketball schedule from here on out where you're playing twice.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to text Adrian Garcia Marquez, try to get him on the show.
Adrian? Like the greatest play-by-play broadcaster of all time?
Yes, sir.
Who we're lucky enough to have right here in San Diego?
The best is he came into the studios like a week or two ago. We were here. And his voice is like so iconic. Like I could hear him down the hallway. I was like, is that Adrian Garcia Marquez?
Oh, you're a little starstruck.
It was like a meet cute.
That is adorable, man. He said he was going to make us an open. Fletch Zone.
Yeah, we need that.
We do. That'd be nice.
I'd be playing that way too much throughout the show.
Every single second you can, man. All right, text line 484. Thoughts on Mr. Beast potentially buying the Anaheim Angels, like a modern-day Little Big League movie rehash? Look, I kind of love it because I think for the first time, the Angels would have an ownership group who spend and aren't afraid to spend. And look, the Angels have signed some massive contracts over the years, but it just never has really worked. Mr. Beast, if you have by the way, he's a YouTuber. He's like a little older than me. His name's Jimmy, but he goes by Mr. Beast.
And he gives out massive amounts of cash to people.
And every dollar he makes on a lot of his videos, which is substantial. More people watch his videos than watch the Super Bowl. Like we can put that into perspective for a quick second. But the money that he makes on his YouTube videos, he turns around and invests it in the next piece of content. So if you take that strategy, apply it to a Major League Baseball ownership group, if this is real at all, or if this is just, hey, I'm Mr. Beast, I have a ton of money, I'm just going to try my hand at owning a sports team and then make a big YouTube series about it, I'm out on that. But if he actually comes in seriously as a businessman, you could be talking about having a real competitor in the Anaheim Angels, who haven't been competitive since, 2004? Was that their World Series where they beat the Giants?
Yeah. Why doesn't he buy an NFL team and move it back to San Diego?
I'd sign up for that too. In fact, Jimmy, if you're listening, I know you are. I know you're a big fan. San Diego Sports 760. Well, you should do that. Sammy and I'll help you out. We'll get you coffee or something.
Yeah, because he can't pay for his own coffee.
Oh, no, but he could pay us.
It's the thought that counts.
Like a few $100,000 a year. I think we'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, this is what, like, it's you have owners who, like in all seriousness, we've talked about, if they ever got a team back San Diego, like you need a owner who's super rich, who doesn't care that you might take a little bit of a loss, aka a Joe Tsai, someone like that, to bring a team back. It would be cool for, like, in terms of an Angels perspective, even though, I'm not an Angel fan. It is so weird how they have a team. Like, you think, like, why does Anaheim?
Dude,
like,
it's a bitchin' ballpark. It's really cool.
Great. But you think like Anaheim has the Ducks and the Angels. And you're sandwiched in between the Dodgers, who is one of the biggest brands in all of sports, and then the Padres, who will become really an exciting team.
And, oh, by the way, 15 minutes from your home ballpark is like the most exciting amusement park in the world.
Right. So it's tough to stay relevant. It would be cool if somehow, like, there was something. I don't. But even if he did go there, like, how are you going to?
We got a ghost.
What?
Are you seeing this? Are you hearing this?
What, the microphone's moving?
Yeah, dude. By itself. I did nothing.
Are you serious? It's actually pretty trippy right now.
Stay away from me.
Yo, what is going on in there?
I don't like that.
At least it's on your side of the glass.
I'm sitting
For
here.
everyone that's listening on radio, I'm not kidding you. We just had a microphone that just moved slowly around the thing.
Dude, I don't know. It's not going to pick up on my camera, but if there's some sort of security footage in here, I think we have a ghost.
That's a little. Hey, we want to welcome to the ghost.
Dude,
I think Jim Russell created it.
You saw this too, right? I'm not making this up.
I was like, why did your face get all weird?
Dude, I'm sitting here, and then all of a sudden, the microphone just slowly starts turning to me. That was freaky.
That's a little alarming.
I did not touch it. There's no wind. We're indoors. Jim, your mic's haunted. Good luck. God.
It makes sense that it is the seat that Jim Russell's in, though.
Of course.
With all the things he says, it's probably coming back to bite him. I saw Sinners yesterday. Maybe this is
It's a vampire mic.
It's like a real life Sinners that Jim Russell created. He's sitting
I
right
still
out there.
haven't seen the movie, dude. Come on, you got to give me time. All right, that was freaky.
It's been a weekend, month and a half.
Apologize to everybody who couldn't see that. Well, even if you were on the stream today, which you can find at Fletch and Sammy on X, at San Diego Sports 760 on YouTube. The camera was not on that mic, but the microphone just started turning towards me in a very creepy, slow way, making a clicking sound.
That's a little alarming.
And for some reason, I'm still in this studio. I should be running home as fast
the
as I
ghost
can.
likes you.
Maybe. I could use a back rub if you're listening, Mr. or Mrs. Ghost. Like, I got some real tightness going
Kendall
on.
going to be okay with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think if it's a ghost, it's not.
We're going to get fired.
Tyler on YouTube says Mr. Beast actually used to be a pretty decent player in high school. His stats are all on Max Prep still. I have seen video of him doing with some other TikToker who likes to test out high school bats. And Mr. Beast will jump in there. He's got a good swing.
We don't care about a swing. We need money.
Yeah, we need money. Jimmy, if you're listening, buy
why doesn't he help the Padres out?
Dude, the San Diego Beasts for a football team?
Yeah. I like that, man.
DM him.
Yeah. San Diego Sports 760 account. 18K followers. That's what we're going to do.
Sup, dude? All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening to the Fletch Zone. We sure do appreciate you being here. And I would also appreciate it if you are in a moment in your life where you're thinking about selling your home, refinancing your mortgage, or trying to buy a new home like I am. Now's the time to call Gary. My guy, Gary, I've known him for 5 years now. Gary Cooper is the best. He will give it to you straight. Give him a call today, 858-376-1299, or visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com. But Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty, my wife and I were a little bit lost, and we had talked to, I think, 3 or 4 different realtors. We had talked to 2 or 3 different mortgage companies. And honestly, leaving those conversations, we felt a little bit more lost than when we started. We didn't really understand anything they were saying. It was just a bunch of words. And then we went and met with Gary Cooper. And I sat down with him with my wife there. We sat there for 2 hours probably. And Gary talked us through everything personalized to us on how we could afford to buy a home here in 2025. And we're on our way to doing that, man. We are hopefully months away at this point from purchasing our first home. The biggest investment we will ever make in our life, the biggest purchase we will ever make in our life. And we have entrusted it to Gary Cooper, who is the absolute man. 858-376-1299. He prides himself on eliminating the smoke and the mirrors and the shell games that you get from companies when it comes to mortgages and realty. He's told you why. When you call 5 different companies, you get 5 different answers concerning interest rates and closing costs. Call Gary Cooper today if you want someone to give it to you straight. 858-376-1299. Or visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com. And coming up tomorrow, you're going to hear from Gary Cooper himself. Call Gary today, 858-376-1299. Tell him Fletch sent you.
This was sponsored by Primatine Mist. In the NBA tonight, the Celtics and Knicks will be going game 4. Boston is currently favored by 6.5 after they drubbed the Knicks on Saturday at the Garden. The point total is set at 209.5. In the night game, Minnesota in Golden State for game 4 as well. That'll be at 7 o'clock. Minnesota is currently favored by 5.5 with the point total set at 200.5. During an asthma attack, every second feels like an eternity. Primatine Mist works fast. It's clinically shown to open airways quickly, providing quick relief of mild symptoms of intermittent asthma. Get the #1 FDA-approved over-the-counter asthma inhaler, Primatine Mist. Breathe easy again.
San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. Now, just a quick continuation on the Mr. Beast conversation we were just having, because he's now possibly linked to trying to purchase the Angels. I don't think that the Angels are actually for sale right now. I know Artie Moreno, in 2022, he was exploring the possibility of a sale, but I don't know that right now they are just out there and open for sale with Artie Moreno at the top. So we'll see. 619 says, Mr. Beast is a weirdo. No thanks. I'll take Joe Size money before Mr. Beast's money. Mr. Beast is a weirdo in the sense that he's really, really good at YouTube, and he's really good at making money. So I don't know that that's someone you should shy away from necessarily.
It'd be weird seeing him as a press conference.
It would be weird to see him like trying to explain why he's trading somebody.
That would be fantastic. 619. Can we read that on air?
No.
Great text, 619.
It's a great text. We can
it has to deal with a certain kicker and Fletch and a ghost.
Yeah. Something about a massage, harassment, HR, a kicker, all that stuff all jumbled into one
text. A certain kicker
text.
Recently got released from the Baltimore Ravens.
And how I would make that kicker proud somehow. I'm not sure I understand 619.
I think you would. Fletch.
Just asking for a massage from a ghost. If you missed it earlier today, I'm sure we got to clip that somehow.
Yeah, it was
and put it up.
We didn't mean to be distracted, but it was very alarming. There was a microphone that, not making this up, just started moving while we're talking.
It was very like, in the horror movies, in the first 20 minutes when nothing's really happening, but they're starting to notice little things going on in the house. That was that.
At least the big thing will happen during John and Jim, so we won't be here. So if we're not on air tomorrow, it's because something severely bad happened in the studio.
So if I could just try to paint this out, and then we'll talk some NBA playoffs, because like Warriors playing again tonight, Steph's still not going. Well, we'll get to all of it. Microphone was up. We were in the middle of talking, and out of the corner of my eye, I noticed moving, and I started to hear clicking. I think the clicking's important.
You do have headphones on, though.
But I have one ear open, and it's the ear that's facing the microphone. And then Sammy's talking about something, and I slowly kind of turn my gaze right, and the microphone is starting to kind of click, 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 click.
It's a little. Listen, I just want to make it clear on the radio. We welcome the ghost.
Yeah.
If the ghost is here, we mean no harm. Jim Russell probably means you harm.
He was talking lots of schmack.
Yeah, Jim Russell's not scared.
We love ghosts. Ghosts are friends, not food.
Exactly. NBA playoffs.
We live in one of the more haunted towns in America. San Diego, between the Hotel Del, between Old Town San Diego, the Whaley House.
The tours that down there at Old Town.
We live in a pretty gnarly place when it comes to ghosts. Just keep that in mind while we have
You're
a
trying
microphone.
to piss off the ghosts. All right.
No, we love ghosts. We love you.
Yeah, we love ghosts.
Make Sammy's long shots work tonight. We'll really love you.
NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs. Warriors playing tonight. What's the latest on Steph?
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
He's out till game 6 at the very least, and the series may be over by then.
I thought today there was going to be some sort of reevaluation on the Monday, and they were going to try to see where he was going. I think the latest news we saw on him was it was positive, but not positive enough, so that he is coming back from this injury, but they weren't comfortable letting him go tonight. And the Warriors are in some trouble if Steph's not going. They've now lost 2 straight. And all of a sudden, Minnesota's looking stronger. Like Julius Randle has been an absolute revelation in this series, coming off of really strong play against the Lakers. And now he's kind of torching the Warriors. But the Warriors, their side of things, do you have somebody else other than Jimmy Butler, and I guess Kuminga too, who is going to step up big tonight? Because that's the only way they win.
Right. Well, it's like Buddy Hield game 7 against the Rockets, and then game 1.
And Draymond Green hitting 4 threes, which I don't think you can ever count on again.
I mean, they got to win this game. The Warriors have to win this game tonight if they have any shot, because you're thinking that they're going to go back to Minnesota and lose. If you could steal game 4, maybe Steph comes back for game 6. Who knows how healthy he's going to be, but then you'd have a series there. Yeah, it feels like this series lost a little bit of luster because of that. But, hey, Kuminga did play great in the loss. I mean, there was a close game on Saturday night. Maybe kind of getting back in a rhythm, him and Butler can take this thing, but hopefully that becomes a little bit of a series. And then on the other game tonight, the Knicks and the Celtics, I'm excited for this one because we really feel like, I mean, the Cavs we haven't got to today. The Cavs are down 3-1. They look like they're done with Indiana. I mean,
what's up, Tyrese?
Donovan Mitchell already hurt his ankle in the second half. He didn't play. So, I mean, we could really realistically be looking, if you had this in Vegas at Eastern Conference Finals between the Pacers and the Knicks, that would be a blast. I think that would be a super fun series. The Knicks got to win this game tonight, and it's been a very interesting tale to tape with like this series because I mean the Celtics have led by 20+ points in all 3 games, and they're 1-2. So at the Garden tonight, you're thinking that you're gonna have to step up. Fletch? What would be your most fun finals matchup that you would like to see?
At this point on the West, it's no longer the Warriors because of Steph, and who knows when he comes back, what he's going to look like.
There,
it would have been the Warriors. I think that's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
OKC is a lot of fun. I don't know how good they're going to be in tight finals games. Denver actually has been more fun in this series to watch.
Jokic is so gassed out.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the best in the final would be a Denver Knicks series.
Yeah, that would be fun. The Knicks getting there would be fun. The Pacers, even though it's small market, would be interesting. It's a new team. It's a team we haven't seen. The Knicks would be fun for ratings. I mean, seeing the Knicks in the finals would be crazy. Stephen A would be going through the roof. And then on the West side, yeah, the Minnesota would be like that would be a fun series. Minnesota and the Knicks. OKC, that series feels weird to me between Oklahoma City and Denver because Jokic is gassed out. I don't know if you watched the game yesterday, but there was no scoring in the first quarter. They scored 8 points.
If we're going to talk about Luka being fat, I think we have to talk about Jokic as well. That dude's huff and wind.
But he's doing everything.
I know, but
I mean, he's literally the whole offense. It's him and Murray. They play 6 dudes, 6.5 guys. I mean, Russell Westbrook comes off the bench, and he remembered he was Russell Westbrook yesterday and turned in a clunker. I mean, that series is so odd to me because, like, Oklahoma City hasn't looked that impressive. I mean, yesterday, Shea kind of closed down the stretch, but at the same time, like...
outside of the game, they won by, like, 60.
Right, it's just... it's funny. It feels like this year, though, there's not really a team that's so much better than everyone else. Like, you'd think Boston...
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a fun
thing. A good thing, and it's going to make for a good final either way. The one play I really wanted to highlight, and it's a bummer that he's hurt now too, but Donovan Mitchell, the play that he made, I believe Saturday, were they the early game on Saturday? I think they were, for Cleveland.
Friday.
When Donovan Mitchell kind of slips through 2 different defenders, double clutches, looks like he's going to throw down, pulls the ball down, and kisses it off the glass just ever so lightly. That play gets made 20 years ago. He's the greatest player of all time.
If we see the Cavs and Oklahoma City go down, like, are they blowing up those teams? I mean, if you're the Thunder, all these young picks, like you're obviously
they both lose.
They both lose. Like Shea is unbelievable. Jalen Williams has not been an excellent 2. Chet Holmgren was awful in Game 3, and then you turn the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell is by himself. Now, part of this is due to injuries, but in this game yesterday, they had Mobley, they had Garland, they were fully healthy yesterday, and it feels like Donovan Mitchell's the only guy showing up. Both onesies this year, it's like a collective roster, except there's not really closers on the team outside of Shea and Donovan Mitchell. And I think you're seeing with these other teams, they have closers. The Pacers have closers. The Knicks have closers. And that's why it's, Denver is 2-2 in the series right now.
All right, coming up next on San Diego Sports 760, we're going to get a film review from Sammy Long, who finally saw Sinners, and I might need to go this week. And we're also going to talk about a Saturday night where Sammy went to the fights. Coming up next on San Diego Sports 760, you're listening to the Fletch Zone on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760 for our final time today. It's the Fletch Zone. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you. Thank you for being here today. We sure do appreciate it. Have a bunch of people on the stream today, well over 400. That's what we like to see. What was Friday at? Like 6 something?
We hit a 700 on Friday, but we appreciate it. We've seen a lot of growth. We had 30 people on the stream in January, and now we have all this. So we love every single one of you tune in, and it really does mean a lot.
Everything Sammy just said. We love you with a capital L. The Trey Hendrickson thing we were talking about earlier today, Sammy, JJ Watt has weighed in on it because Trey Hendrickson has come out and said he's had no communication with the Bengals since the NFL draft. JJ Watt said this. I assume it went something like this. Last offseason, the Bengals said, we can't/don't want to do a deal right now, but we'll make you right next offseason and we'll get it done early. And then Trey Hendrickson has a great season. Now this offseason, crickets, because the Bengals don't want to back up what they said last year.
Well, it's funny when teams do that because then you go like as a player.
Why should I ever trust you ever again?
Well, and then they're going to come back to the table and go, well, you're a year older. I mean, like what you're thinking, if you're not going to pay you that number now, then even though you had a career year sacks, they're going to go, you're 1 year older. So that's
and
1
led
year
the whole
less.
freaking league. Like Myles Garrett plays in this league. Chris Jones plays in this league. He led all of them in sacks last year. The NFL, and then when teams try to make villains out of their players for holding out, I'm like, why the hell do you think they do that? That's the power that they have over you.
Well, especially in a sport like football too, where your career can get cut short like that. I mean, you have a leg injury and you're out and you're never the same. It's the Bengals have historically not been a well-run organization, and they kind of got thrown a bone because Joe Burrow was a lottery ticket that got dropped in their lap, and then they hit on Jamar Chase, they hit on T. Higgins, and it feels like all the momentum that happened when they beat Kansas City, went to the Super Bowl, it just feels like they have been passed by a lot of teams in the AFC that are just well-run, and we're going to see if you can't go into the season not having a defense. I'm sorry, you're not winning in the AFC against Mahomes, Burrow, or Allen, Lamar, Herbert, Stroud, all these guys if you have a horrible defense. If you think you're going in the playoffs and winning, no shot.
By the way, they were a 9-win team last year with no defense. Imagine if they had a little bit of defense. Joe Burrow was winning games like 48-42 because he had to, because the defense could not stop anybody. We'll see what happens, but it feels like you're kind of wasting one of the best talents we've ever seen at the position because you just refuse to put a defense around him. I don't get it, man. Bengals, fix your ownership or trade your quarterback. Please get him somewhere where they will help him out. It's really embarrassing, I think. I don't know. Who cares about the Bengals, right? They just want good football being played. All right, before we get out of here today, Sammy, you went and saw Sinners. I've been wanting to see Sinners. It's been on my list for a while now. Give us the quick 30-second review and how good it was.
Fantastic movie.
How steamy was Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld?
He's a good-looking man. We can say that Haley Steinfeld.
Are they romantic love interests in the movie?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but Michael B. Jordan plays two characters.
Oh, that's right. He's twins, right?
Yeah. So
one of the twins?
Maybe.
Both of the twins?
But
dude, gross.
No.
How do you even film that?
It's oh no. It was a really good movie, like because it's really like Brant talked about how he told me before I went to go see it. It's like really kind of two movies. And at first I was watching, I was like, I didn't really get it. And I'm like, yeah, it's super creative. You don't know where it's going, and it's not like, it's vampires, but you're not like, it's not like a dumb vampire movie. Like it's actually a really there's a lot of underlying messages in it. It's 100% worth it. Like I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was great. 2 hours, 20-minute movie.
Well, tell me the scene about Michael B. Jordan as himself and his twin were in a threesome with Haley Steinfeld.
No, that did not happen.
With Josh Allen's fiance or wife. I think they're married now.
You think? Imagine Josh Allen in the theater watching that with her.
He did put out a tweet right after that movie came out and said, "Oh my God, she was amazing. She was wonderful.
She was fantastic.
She is a very, very talented actress." All right, so Sinners was good. I will need to find time this week to go see it. And then number 2, you were at the fights on Saturday night. Which casino was it at?
It was at a casino. It was at Sports Arena.
Oh, it was at Pechanga Arena.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was at a casino.
No. It was at Pechanga. It was fantastic. It was a blast. I've never been to a fight at all.
Sold out?
It was pretty. I don't know if it sold out, but it was packed. It was the whole lower bowl. It got loud because the Navarrete is such a fun fighter, and Suarez. It sucks it got stopped because of a doctor stoppage. It was on ESPN for those who watched it, and he got like a bad cut over his right eye. They said though they thought it was a headbutt, which is why they stopped it because the cut wouldn't stop. But then upon review later, realized it was actually a punch from Suarez that kind of caused the cut to open. So they might rule it a no contest, and then there'll be a rematch in San Diego, which I will be going to again.
Now, the biggest question, how many drinks did one Sammy Long have at the fight on Saturday night?
We had a couple beverages.
Just a couple?
It's for radio, so a couple beverages.
You can put a number on it. It's all right.
No, we didn't go crazy on Saturday night. We had I had 2, but they were the big 40-ounce.
Oh yeah, a tall
cans.
boy.
Yeah, tall boy.
I got a specific koozie that's just for tall boys. I kind of love it.
I gotta say, I love sporting events that have the tall boys. Like, I hate when you buy a beer at a sporting event and then it's like
by the time you get back to your seat, it's already
gone.
It's
like, now I need another beer.
I know. Well, that's very cool, man. I'm glad that you had a nice little weekend. For me, I went to a niece's birthday party. Get this, it was a pizza party in Long Beach. I left right after the show on Saturday. Long Beach is generally like an hour and 25 minutes to my sister-in-law's house. Took me 3.5 hours to get there. Got there an hour late for the party. My niece, they had a pizza party for her. She was turning 7 years old. Okay. It was great. We brought the presents. She loved the presents. However, I think one oversight maybe by the parents, my niece doesn't like pizza, and they threw a pizza party.
Really?
So she flipped out because she doesn't eat pizza.
Well, she should flip out. It's her birthday.
She eats chicken nuggets and pasta for most meals.
They, I was thinking about this over the week. I had a debate with someone about this. Is it rude? Was there pineapple pizza there?
No, there was a elote pizza though, which was fantastic.
I
think it's street corn on pizza. Who knew?
I think it's disrespectful if someone says we're ordering pizza for an event and you trust, like, okay, you're gonna get a pepperoni, maybe a sausage, maybe a cheese. If someone orders a pineapple pizza, it is highly disrespectful to the guests coming because who likes pineapple pizza?
Everyone likes pineapple pizza.
Of course. You look like someone who would like pineapple pizza.
Pineapple ham and pizza is elite,
awful,
delicious,
disgusting.
So pineapple on a burger, bring it on all day long.
What is wrong with you?
Grilled pineapple on a burger
I don't
is
want
fire.
sweet when I'm eating pizza.
All right, well, we know what's going on the text line tomorrow, 70470. Start your message with team pineapple pizza lovers. Let's represent.
It's disrespectful.
Low key.
To order pineapple, to waste a pizza on pineapple.
We have low key been sleeping on pineapple on pizza.
No, that's
just like the Pacers.
It's been overrated. It needs to stay down.
All right, we got 20 seconds left. Picks for tonight, Sammy. Do the Warriors get a win? Yes or no?
No, I think Minnesota by 10, and I think the Knicks get it done tonight. I think the Knicks pull the upset and they go back to Boston up 3-1.
Okay, I like it. Well, that's it for us today. We'll be back with you at noon tomorrow. John and Jim are coming up next in a haunted ass studio with microphones that like to move on their own. Good luck, boys. See you tomorrow.